got mad bracelets on, son. What's good?
Yeah, let me know you press record.
Yeah, I've been recording.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? We out here in Vegas, you know what I'm talking about? It's snowing and whatnot, but that ain't, you know, that's not gonna stop the show. You know what I'm saying? Snowfall. We here to bring that water, you know what I'm saying? We here to quench the thirst. Let's walk over here and show you what's going on. That's snowpocalypse. Yeah, at least the weed is legal. I ain't tripping.
I came from Pittsburgh, my brother's here from DC.
That's right.
We wanted to stop and take time out of our day. But one of the questions I have for you is just, you know, being from Pittsburgh, first of all, I want to get y'all to Pittsburgh. So secondly, he's in DC, so to get you into DC to connect with your brother.
Exactly.
How do you feel like, you know, I visited West Africa, man, and so those images that you seen when I was in West Africa, some of the same images that you were showing are being portrayed to us all over the world. And so how do we change those images that we're seeing here and abroad that our youth are being fed?
Well, we have, like I said, there's an article that Blue Pill just put on his Instagram the other day that said, what's his name, Dilla? What's the label exec? Barry Dilla, who is a Hollywood label exec. Barry Dilla said on record that Hollywood has lost the war. Okay? Hollywood is no longer, Hollywood was burning months ago, but it's literally burning. The streaming platforms have taken over. Netflix has won the war. So the whole game has changed. So whatever you want to portray, you got the act, you have the permission to you portray it. It's time for us to, we have to create our own content.
The industry of, you know, one materializing their thoughts or concepts into tangible product has been democratized. So with cameras, with stages like this, with studios, you feel me? Theater, like we're driving on our way here, and I'm like, why isn't Vegas a backdrop to a import Hollywood town like, let's say, Atlanta is, right? all of the venues for acting is right across the bridge in terms of that being the entertainment hub, and in the background is the mountains and the valleys and all of the rest of the stuff.
Right.
You can do black westerns out here. You can shoot all sorts of propaganda material. You feel me? You can build up sets. It's the desert. It's the same thing that they do. You can build up sets right in their backyard. They're not paying no attention to that land. And then we could film our own concepts. They just took a whole desert series and did Westworld.
That's right.
You don't even need props.
The only way to flip what's being done to us is to flip it back. Like my brother A.A. Rashid, he was running around with the Gucci thing. He went and put out a shirt called Geechee. Gicci, like the Geechee and the Gullah. Flip the energy into your favor. We're alchemists. This is what we do. So you got us looking crazy.
And use it as a teaching lesson. So the bottom line of it is Africa in America, or Africa America. You know, because science has shown that parts of Alabama, parts of Georgia, and parts of Florida literally are connected or come from, they're African.
That's right.
That these parts were connected to Africa at one point. So Africa literally exists inside of America. That's right. Geographically.
So, like I'm saying, we're in Vegas. You're next to LA. We need writing groups, right? We need film teams. We need production. This facility alone has the capabilities to make a webisode short series. We have to be at the helms and be very responsible. Go and research Afro-surrealism and Afrofuturism. Black Panther made $1 billion. That's in the genre of Afrofuturism. So it's time to tell our stories.
So if there is any life in Hollywood, it's with Black future cinema.
That's right. Sell your Gucci and buy some cameras.
Let's get to our last question. If you want to support the brothers, they have some stuff out front, and we can take a couple of pictures and engage them, because we got to be out here by 11, family, or they're going to give me another bill.
And then we got to do one woman before we leave. We got to balance it out, please.
Oh, okay.
All right, with the brother. Real quick,
Listen,
brother.
listen, peace family, I'm glad to be here, I'm glad to hear you guys.
Yes.
Next time you come, please bring Brother Rich.
Yeah.
We're
gonna bring KT. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna bring the team with us.
Yes.
We're like liaisons. We get to go back and report about who's ready and where it's popping at. So when we go home, we definitely are gonna go home with a resounding,
Yes.
yes.
So, I have the understanding of the changing of the guard. I just was wondering what your take on that is, the current changing of the guard.
Okay, so I had a segment set up in my presentation where I kind of get into the spiritual metaphysics of what we're bearing witness to. The fact that 2019 is a Jubilee year, right? And what do I mean by that? Genesis 15:13 says that your people would be bound in shackles and taken to a very foreign, unfamiliar land for the period of 400 years. So, right, according to the record, they say that the first quote-unquote slaves came in 1619, right, in Jamestown, Virginia, right? Allegedly. There's a whole lot of stuff.
The same place with the governor with the blackface. Keep
So,
that in
right,
mind.
same place with the governor. So 400 years from that, it's 2019. Okay? So it baffles me why people who have spent their entire life in church, and I don't have nothing against Christians, I'm just saying, you have been prepared your entire life for right now. So why not the church is talking like this? Why not the church is taking an assessment of signs of the times to say, whoa, since everything else is going on, we got blood moons, we got snow in Vegas, we got this, we got that, we have all of these signs. This shows that this is not just a regular time that we're in. We got notice popping up in Saudi Arabia in the beginning of January, showing the second plague, right? The first plague was blood, but you got the blood moon, okay? In Egypt, of all places, Egypt don't have to geographically be in Egypt no more if this is the new Egypt of the West, right? So you got blood moons, you got lotus, you got this, you got that, you got this whole period of time. But what they don't tell you is that December 31st, serious, right? Our Mother Star, for the people who adhere to Nile Valley civilization and philosophy. Nile Valley civilization was based on the star Sirius, right? Nile Valley civilization was based on how you die and whether you have the right to go home when you die. So you had an entire civilization that was built around a death ritual. And that death ritual was the weighing of the heart. And when you pass, you go home to Sirius, to the dog star, right? What happens to be Offset, right? Because the dog star is a female dog. That's a whole other story. I'm not saying that the queen mother's a bitch, okay? But they got a weird way that they, start working words and what have you. But Offset, or, Isis as they call her in Greek, okay? She is the dog star. She rises at the highest point in the sky, December 31st. She is mimicked by the falling of the ball in Times Square, okay? That's that ritual mimicking the dog star. So the dog star is at the highest point, right? So Offset Mama is at her highest point, meaning that she pretty much sees everything that's going on. So immediately we go into the New Year. What's the first thing that they hit us with in the New Year? Surviving R. Kelly, okay?
Bird Box.
So Bird Box first. Bird Box came on the equinox, right? And Bird Box is dealing with this whole concept of us being blinded, right? The blindfolds. It's the first 3 degrees of masonry, right? Because the initiate got to put the blindfolds on and you deal with the cable toe. You understand? And there's 3 initiates, there's 3 of them. You understand what I'm saying? And December 21st is dealing with this whole equinox energy of when the sun, the sun goes into his death phase. The solstice energy of when the sun goes into a phase of death. So the death of the sun and the rebirth and all of the symbolism that's there. And then, like I said, December 31st, Offset is at her highest point. 3 or 4 days later, we get Surviving R. Kelly. On January 6th, Sirius is joined by the M44 cluster, which is the Cancer constellation. So Cancer is synonymous with mother, moon, home. So you got Big Mama and you got Mama sitting there watching your children to say, if this is the Jubilee year and I'm supposed to hand the keys over, categorically you hand the keys over to the man in the house, who's supposed to be the protector of the women and the children. But we do know energetically that there's a changing of the guard going on. The men say, look, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have nothing to do with her. She's a thot. Right? They said that little baby was asking for it. I done heard each and every excuse not to defend women in the face of what happened with R. Kelly. Right? And then immediately after that, you have these recurrent instances of things happening to melanated women named Jasmine. And because we don't understand the etymology of words, we don't understand what Jasmine means. So Jasmine means flower, right? Likened unto a woman, because when you have sex with a woman, they say you're deflowering her. My grandfather always told me a woman is synonymous to a flower. That's how you're supposed to treat her, right? Some of us have fallen short, okay? That's also how you make perfume, okay? You put a lot of pressure on the flower. So, Jasmine Barnes with the little girl, the 7-year-old girl in Houston that got killed in the drive-by, right? People was up in arms when they said that there was a Caucasian assassin. But the minute that they found, right? The minute that they found that it was a brother who was part of a gang involved, you didn't hear nothing no more. And his name was Black Jr., right? If you're talking about symbolisms. And then you had the girl Yasmin in McDonald's who had to, she had to fight for herself because no black man in her job was willing to defend her, right? So no black man in the city of Houston was going to defend this girl. No black man in McDonald's was going to defend this girl. And then right after R. Kelly, you had the girl Jasmine in Atlanta who gets raped in the club. And no black man was there willing to defend her. What did they do? They put the shit on Facebook, right? So you have these constant occurrences. The universe is just taking tally to see where the people at. Where is this black man at that you keep telling me about? This so fierce and so much of a warrior. That loves his mother and his children so much that he's going to do whatever in the face of adversity to defend her.
I'm right here.
Then we're going to give him. That's right.
So we don't get in trouble because the energy is high.
this universe is gauging and taking a litmus test to see where are the people in society. Because right after R. Kelly and right after all of these things, we get City Girls twerk video, we get Dr. Yana, we get all of these things, right? This shows somewhat of a contradiction where the universe is like, I don't know where y'all people stand. So there is a transference of power that's taking place. But where exactly that's going to end up, I can't really say. So you have the Me Too movement. So you have all of these different factions that are positioning themselves to take the reins and to met out a level of justice which is going to be very ugly because they was done so wrong, right? So it's very conflicting right now as to where things are. But ultimately, the most positive thing I can leave you with is the decision is ultimately up to us as to where it goes. All right?